come on then, lads. Just try it. Hello, you've caught me beating up about 20 men by pressing square and occasionally triangle. It's what video games do best, isn't it? Empower you, make you feel amazing and heroic as you effortlessly execute spectacular moves with a few simple button inputs. Enable you to live out your fantasy of being a physically far more capable human being than you are in real life. Whoa, let that be a lesson to you, gang of 15 bandits. You don't mess with me. Here are 7 things that are way easier in video games than they are in real life. We'll carry on from the introduction for our first entry, which is winning fights against impossible numbers of people. Now, I don't care how good you are at using a sword or firing a gun or wearing an impractical rubber suit with a cape that would totally smother you like an unruly duvet the second you attempted a spin kick. There's no way in real life you'd be able to take on the amount of enemies games have you taking on as a matter of course. Don't get me wrong, playing Dynasty Warriors 8 and beating an entire army controlling one bloke with a magic stick is amazing, but man, these guys make it look so easy. In real life, it would be more like Dark Souls, wouldn't it? You could be a Zen Master of Swordsmanship, and I'm using this not Zen Master of Swordsmanship character purely for illustrative purposes, of course. But as soon as you come up against more than one opponent, things are going to be extremely tricky. 3 opponents or more, I don't care if you're Zatoichi, you are going down. It's a good job games are better than real life then, isn't it? Yeah, I've won. Look at him, handsome, funny, star of arguably the greatest action-adventure video game series of all time, and a perpetuator of the myth that is our second entry. Climbing is really easy. Now, I don't know if anyone's been actual rock climbing before, but I did it once as a kid, and yeah, I did it once as a kid. It's hard. You have a harness on. You have a helmet and elbow pads. You put chalk on your hands to help you grip the easily grippable rubber handholds. You haul yourself up once, your muscles burn, and if you're like me, you fall off and give up. Nathan Drake doesn't wear a harness, he doesn't have chalk on his hands, and he isn't grabbing rubber. He's leaping onto rocks by the sea. You know, the type of rocks that give you all the purchase of a bar of soap on an ice rink. And he's not just grabbing them either, he's hurtling through the air, clawing at them with his fingertips while certain death yawns below. Bloody show-off Nathan Drake, isn't he? But it's not just him who makes climbing look way easier than it actually is. I mean, honestly, how is he still alive? There are a contingent of video game protagonists who, if viewed by aliens visiting planet Earth for the first time, would make humans seem like a race of hyper-intelligent bipedal mountain goats. Here's Lara Croft just hauling herself up a sheer cliff face with nothing but a pickaxe and some fingernails. Faith from Mirror's Edge Catalyst, stepping over buildings like you or I would step over a crack in the pavement. It's not an accurate representation of how hard rock climbing is it? Although obviously Uncharted 4 would be a bit slow if every platforming section looked like this. Our next entry is riding horses. In games, you just press X a bunch of times and off they go, galloping into the sunset, looking beautiful, all while you stay perfectly balanced on top. I mean, you don't even have to do anything to not fall off, do you? If riding a horse in a game was anywhere near as difficult as riding one in real life, then you'd have to learn a Street Fighter-esque combo just to stop the bloody things pulling over whenever they want to eat bits of grass sticking out the road. I remember going horse riding once with my wife, who's quite competent, so off she trots, all the while my horse, bored with just walking, decides to trot off after her. I feel there should be a balancing minigame in all horse travel sections where you have to stop yourself ragdoll bouncing off the saddle, press square to apply emergency coolant to raw buttocks, and L1 to duck underneath low-hanging branches because, you know,
Horses love running under those when they know they've got someone who's never ridden before on their back.
Yes, Blue from the White Horse Equestrian Centre in Westbury, I am talking about you.
But look at this lot. Roach from The Witcher 3 doesn't even need steering if you get her on a path. D-Horse is so obedient he doesn't even defecate unless you tell him. And Aggro from Shadow of the Colossus, well, she lets you fire arrows while riding her as you fight off walking mountains together. Imagine trying to beat Colossi number 9 if she decided she just wanted to wander off like a real horse would. Entry number 4 is hiding. It's so easy to not be seen by other people in video games. All you need to do is hide behind something. Doesn't matter if your knee is poking out a bit or you're wearing a black bodysuit in the middle of a pale, sandy desert. Sometimes you don't even need to get behind anything at all. You simply stand a little bit away from people.
If this was Metal Gear Solid, Dave would not be able to see me. His field of vision would end sort of there-ish.
In Metal Gear Solid 3, you can hide from people standing right next to you as long as you have the right face paint on. That just doesn't work if you're playing hide and seek in real life. Trust me, I've tried it.
29, 30, ready or not, here I come. Found you.
Ah.
Plus, in games, even if you do get spotted, you can just duck behind cover again and your pursuers will have forgotten you even exist after about 10 seconds.
Hey, what was that man-shaped object I just saw moving like a man just now? Oh well, best get back to looking the other way.
Number 5, flying an aeroplane. To be honest, I've never done this in real life, much like most of you, I suspect. And so maybe it is really, really easy. Maybe the years of training pilots go through is just the aviation authorities being overcautious. Maybe all you need is an R2 button and a left stick and whoop, off we go. Loop the loop, roly-poly, and boom, nailed the landing.
I do know that real life flying is much harder, however, because one of the first games I ever played was Flight Simulator, and I imagine you played it as well, didn't you? Now, did you ever actually manage to take off? I didn't think so.
And that is how I know for sure that flying in video games is way easier than flying in real life. Penultimate entry now, and has it ever struck you how everyone in video games is always running everywhere, all the time, as if that's the default method of moving forwards? Because if you were to actually run everywhere at all times, then A, the pavements would be flipping death traps, and B, you'd just collapse from exhaustion, wouldn't you? Not in video games though. Tilt the left stick and off we go. Keep it tilted, that's it, keep it tilted, we could go all day. We're video game characters and we only use up stamina if you press the sprint button. And even then we just have to go back to running for 10 seconds and we're ready to sprint again.
Sickening, isn't it? Just that. That's all I have to do.
Not even mountains are a problem. I just push the left stick at them. Up we run. I mean, this is a middle-aged, slightly overweight bloke for crying out loud, and he just keeps on going and going and going. So easy. Our final entry on this list of things that are way easier in video games than real life is carrying loads and loads and loads of stuff. I mean, video game characters must have super-powered TARDIS pockets because although in RPGs you often get weight limits, these limits still allow you to carry, say, 4 swords, 2 sets of armour, various alchemy ingredients, and enough potions to fill a Harry Potter film set. Let me show you what my weight limit is.
Cycling gear, headphones, glasses case, wallets.
Rob, can you take the laptop with you tomorrow for the shoot?
Not if you don't want me to be over-encumbered.
What's worse is that video game characters often combine number 6 and 7, don't they? They fill their suitcases or their saddlebags or their Omni holsters with tons of equipment and then go jogging with it forever. I mean, look at Venom Snake. It's the desert. He's been in a 9-year coma. That's a probably really heavy sniper rifle. And you've got an assault rifle, a tranquilizer pistol, some tactical binocular things, an iDroid, and a cardboard box tucked down your trousers somewhere. And you're running. Seriously, shut up.
I bet he can't write down a list of 7 things and then say it while sitting on a sofa, though.
Which is what I've just done again. I hope you enjoyed it. Let us know in the comments if you can think of any more examples of things that are way easier in video games than in real life. Leave a like because that's like totally easy, and subscribe if you haven't already for more of these videos every Friday. Thanks for watching.